Restart, baby. Restart.
Okay, okay. Hello, everyone, again. He's trying to torture me today. Suki, you understand that? He's a man, he tortures. So, I just came from the oncologist, and I'm 100% cancer free and free to be me. So, I intend to have a lot
That's
of fun
great.
this meeting, and at the same time, explain some guidelines that I want to talk about. And the books are the most important guidelines because we must stick to the dates because there are so many coming on. The next is Mr. Rights. And we have till the end of the week, I'll be kind. Um, After that, we have my favorite book, which will be Different is Beautiful. And that was Sukaina's title. Sukaina, I expect you to be part of that book and not sleeping. It's not your brother's fault. Go to an internet cafe like normal people do, and you can do
Oh
this.
wait, we don't have them here. That's why I need the laptop.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, we have till I think I don't remember the date I gave, but we have a little bit of time. That book I'm not rushing to put out because I want it to be really, really good. Um, Mr. Wrights will be the best there is because I have a lot of really talented people writing for that book. And that copy I'm collecting till Friday, and after that it goes to press. Sisterhood 35. I have to tell you, this is some book. And I ordered my copy, so I can't wait. It's coming tomorrow. And what is today? Today's Tuesday. It's coming on Thursday, so I'm really so excited to see that. A lot of good writers in that book too. But I think the Mr. Wrights book is the one that's going to really touch us because it's a book filled with quality. Now, Sisterhood 36, and Mr. Tofik doesn't like the title, and all I could say to him is, it is Women versus Men, the Battle of the Sexes. I don't know that we're going to use that title, but we're going to have women and men's different opinions. It's sort of going to be like men are from Mars, women are from Venus. I intend to have a lot of men writing in that book, including Mr. Mashish, Mr. Arby. He said he can't wait. And we're going to have a lot of crazy men writing in that book. And we're going to show them why they are the weakest sex because look what they did to this world. So you can laugh at it, Suki, but women would never let a world be the way the world is now. I mean,
Oh, I
it's really
agree.
it's so horrifying because we have so many people who didn't take the time to do what they should do. So
Just look at Trump.
yeah, yeah. And today we're not going to be talking about elections or anything else because I have to keep myself calm. I just
I
came
know.
from the oncology center where I saw my doctor, who, if he was 10 years younger and I make a play for him, I'm only kidding. And I just had a wonderful time. I got a great report and I felt really good. And when he heard me coming in, he heard laughter. He said, from all the nurses, he said, he came over, can I join the party? He said, I knew you were here. The point is that even through the cancer, I wasn't the way I am now, but at least I had a little levity. I mean, you can't go through life being depressed about everything. So, regardless of how the election turns out, regardless of how anything else turns out, you
Life
have to
goes
have
on,
a
you know?
sense of humor
Yeah,
because yes, does it affect
exactly.
our life every minute of every day? But you can't be constantly, oh, the election. Oh, what am I going to do? You're going to live. I mean, you're going to live anyway. What's the difference? Get over it and move on.
Well,
So I have two goals in life. One of them is finding a man for Sukaina. The second goal, the second goal is finding a woman for Mike, who is Ira's stepson. So I'm working on both of them. Um, Today we're going to have a lot of fun because the people in this workshop are not normal. There is nobody here today who's going to be normal. So I can
we
tell
are.
you, no, you have no idea. We are going to have so much fun. So much fun. And Suki, by the end of the week, there are no excuses. I expect to see your copy. Got it? You didn't send me Mr. Wrights, did you?
No, 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 no. Yeah, I'm still working on it.
You know what, Suki, listen to me. Perfection is not the name of the game. You have to give
I
it
know.
and get over it. I can't stand it. I'm working with a man who's going to be here in a couple of minutes who when I first started working with him, maybe 10 years ago, he also, if I'm not in the mood, if it's not perfect, I'm not doing it. And now I got him so used to writing just for the love of writing and not for the love of perfection that we put out a book that is just by far one of the best books I've ever written in my life, because it's a fun book. You know, some of the books I write are too heavy. When I finish with Mr. Rights, and I'm doing childhood obesity for Different is Beautiful, these are heavy topics. I need to lighten up a little. So I go to Rocket Man and Poetry Lady, and it makes me smile. Rocket Man and Poetry Lady, through the worst times in my life, made me smile because they're not real. Well, maybe they are in a certain way, but they're like characters who go through life not fearing anything. I mean, they're both nuts, but they have a different view on life, which we'll explain, a little bit later. And sometimes you need not only to have the heavy or the perfect, but you need to have the writing that comes with the heart. So, and not perfection, but the heart. Got it, Suki?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I love that smile. That smile makes me think of the day that you sang at my wedding. What a wonderful smile. I'll never forget that. Never.
Thank you. That's kind of you. I know, me too.
And what about Doha? Have you spoken to her?
No, it's been a long time. So basically, like, she's in Casablanca right now and she's studying, so like she's busy. Like, we barely talk. But like, I'm moving to Rabat soon, maybe next week. Maybe I will,
You
just
are moving
contact
to
her
Rabat?
back then. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm moving to Rabat.
Is that
Well,
cute
it's
guy in
time,
Rabat?
to find.
What about that cute guy?
What?
Is he in Rabat?
Who's the cute
That
guy?
guy that I met. Mom never gives up.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. He's in Marrakesh now or something. No, like,
Okay.
it's been a long time. You still remember him? Like, oh my God.
Oh. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to start and I want to explain there are a few rules to today. And the rules are, number one, no talking about the election because I need my karma. I've been talking about the election all morning and I refuse to talk about it anymore. So, oh, and there she is. You didn't break my heart.
I did not break your heart. I wouldn't break your heart.
Oh, I have to tell you something about my friend Shirley.
Oh, God.
I love Shirley more than life. The other day she answers her phone. She's hiding her head. You hide your head in shame. She's hiding her head. She answered the phone the other day, and you know what she says? Hello, this is Shirley's sister. Shirley is dead. I laughed my ass off.
Oh, my
Okay.
God.
Okay. I see somebody on a real. Okay.
Guten Morgen.
Okay, good. Now we're starting. Let's rock and roll.
And rock and roll. Has everybody voted that can vote?
Yes.
First, I want to tell you about today's meeting, why it's a little bit different. I'm just giving it a few more minutes till everybody comes, why it's a little bit different than our normal meetings. This is what we call a book talk. Now, Shirley and I always know, right, Shirley, it's not about the elections, it's not about the dog.
What kind of talk is it?
A book talk.
A book talk.
Okay.
I thought you
First,
said
here's
a
the
book.
format of the meeting. Okay, we're not taking you down a dole, Shirley, and we're not sharing it today. The first thing that we're going to do, we're going to have a lot of fun today, is I'm going to be talking about my favorite books, my favorite characters, because I write a lot of characters. And then after we talk about those two characters, and my co-author is here, I see him, Larry Langone, and he will be talking about his share of Rocket Man and Poetry Lady. And then I'll introduce the author of the month, who is Miss Kavita Singh, who is trying to get on. And we will talk to some other famous authors. So Shirley, just seeing you here redeems you from everything you've done, including telling me that you're dead. Okay, so that's it.
Namaste, thank you.
Okay. We have a lot of fun in our writing groups, Larry, where nobody here is normal. So you fit in. Perfect. I have written, I have written with some crazy people. Never. Okay. Never in my life. My husband is now whispering to me that I should say, welcome, Larry. I welcome Larry every day when we're writing. Welcome, Larry. It makes him feel better. Okay. Okay.
Go, Larry.
Go, Larry. Go,
Hey,
Larry.
Larry.
Okay. So before I get too carried away, I want to just give you, before we start with this thing, because this is really heavy, I want to tell you the difference between fiction and true life. I know you all know it, but Vicky is busy walking so because she wants to make me dizzy.
Hello.
Vicky and I are, we were having a heavy conversation the other day about soulmates. Now we have somebody here who has a soulmate, that's Shirley and her husband. A soulmate is usually somebody you don't wind up with, but it's in your skin. You think about that person every minute of every day. And usually you don't. Wow, hi there, Leah. Come on down, you're on time. Woohoo! Okay. So a soulmate is somebody who gets, today, like I said, we're going to be putting mics on, not mics, Tofik is sitting over there, and we're going to be muting everyone so we could hear the speakers that are speaking. It's not like the meetings that we have with kids.
Moment, dear Larry, please activate your micro. Thank you.
Larry, activate your mic. That's my husband.
Oh,
Yes.
Francis Qualick.
Okay.
Okay.
Join the
It's
meeting.
good. We could hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Here we go.
Can you
I
hear
don't
me?
hear him.
Yes, go great, Larry. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Great, Larry. Okay. Here we go. So this is how it goes. So in our lives, we meet people, and sometimes we get married, and we're happy, and we pay the bills, and that's not a soulmate. We meet people, and you possibly, well, you always love the people that you're with, but it's not a soulmate. A soulmate is somebody who is under your skin every minute of every day. Do you wind up with that person? Probably not, because it's a very heavy relationship. But you can always dream of it. Rocket Man and Poetry Lady. Now, yes, Vicky, it is between the pages, and maybe you think Rocket Man and Poetry Lady are fictional characters, and yes, they are. But when I read that book, when I read the book that we just wrote, if you can take 1 hour out of your time and you can learn the love that these two had, they went through everything. He left, she left. This has been going on for maybe 10 years. He left, she left. He left, and you're laughing. He left, she left, and went on through the years, but they always come back. That's a soulmate. They leave because they can't take the heaviness of the relationship, and then they come back. Rocket Man and Poetry Lady, believe it or not, going through a very devastating thing. Hi, my Barbara. I'm going through a very devastating thing. Irish death really killed me. And Tofik is going through it too, so it's hard for him to console me. And the only thing that consoled me is writing that crazy book, because I was actually able to take my mind off my problems. And when I get into it, I have to be Poetry Lady and not Lynn, and that really, really helps me. So without further ado, I'm going to speak to just about my take of Rocket Man and Poetry Lady, and then Larry's going to take over. Rocket Man and Poetry Lady have a relationship that everybody hopes for.
I'm just kidding.
They don't have to necessarily be together. They love in a way that no
Love you, babe.
people have ever. It's like a sonic boom. And what I admire the most about them is that they don't stop thinking of each other. Are they fictional characters? Yes, but if you have the chance to meet a Rocket Man in your life, don't walk away from them. I don't think many people never meet that. But it's a very lucky thing when you do, regardless of what point you are at your life. And working with this man is a crazy experience. And I have to tell you about my friend Larry. I met Larry maybe 10, 11 years ago. And when I first suggested that he write with me, he said, and I'm going to quote, "I'm not in the mood. I have to be in the mood." And I said, and he's smiling because he knows he's guilty. And I said to him, "What do you mean mood? Just put up the pen and let's go." And at that time, he laughed. way Larry writes, he writes in an absolutely amazing way. And the thing that I love about the writing with him is that the words flow. When I wrote with other people, including my son, we didn't write together. We wrote separately. This is not separately. Even if we're writing at separate times, it's still together. That's why Rocket Man and Poetry Lady are my two favorite characters ever. Writing with this man is a joy because he is such a character. Ladies, this man he's laughing. This man is a character. He's a family man. He loves his wife. He loves his children. But when he becomes Rocket Man, he's like a crazy person. When I met Larry in Boston, I went there to do a video, and meeting him was also very comic. And he's hiding his face because he knows what I'm going to say. It came to his part in the video, and he had to say, I said, Larry, the person who was interviewing the two of us said to him, okay, Larry, can you just say the title of the book? The man stood there in this windy day. He couldn't remember the title. I'll never forget that. I will never let him put that one down. I'll never forget it. Writing with Mr. Langone is a joy. It's fun. He's a crazy person. I don't know how anybody could live with him, but he's fun. Really, Shirley, he's crazier than you. This is the woman who called me the other day. I called her, and she got on, and she said, this is Shirley's sister. Shirley's dead. I mean, she's nuts. You two ought to meet each other. You'd be perfect. Okay, so without further ado, I
need to ask a question.
What'd you say?
I need to ask a question. An icon keeps coming up with the telephone and wireless signs.
Give that to our tech man. Do you hear that, Tofik?
Yes.
Do I need to click that?
Right?
Shirley, Tofik will answer.
Yes. Sorry, Vicky, tell me more.
Shirley.
Shirley, go ahead.
Yes, I have in the middle of my screen is an icon. It's green with the telephone.
I can be
the
Okay.
lights for the wireless.
Okay, just ignore it. We can hear you, we can watch you.
Oh, okay. All right. So just leave it alone.
Another participant who tried to connect via phone. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Ignore it, Shirley. Okay, so now, can you mute everybody, Tofik? So
Yes,
Larry
sure.
can talk, Larry and I.
Sure.
Okay, so now, without further ado, I will introduce you to Poetry Lady's Rocket Man. Hit it, Larry. Tell us about what the experience has been like for you. Was it good for you, Larry? Go ahead.
How's everybody doing?
Rocket Man.
Mute everybody, Tofik.
Man is in the house.
Okay. Go ahead, Larry.
What would you like me to discuss, Lynn?
Larry, I want you to tell them about the experience of writing
Okay, well,
this
first,
book.
I will get to that. But before I do, I would like to address a little accuracy. You that day, you were doing great. And I had my chance to jump in, and you just kind of, slammed on the brakes and threw it to me, and I didn't know it was coming. Okay, so I want everybody to know the truth of that situation. But to go back to when we write together, this is amazing, because I'm telling you, this Rocket Man guy, he's not me, but he channels through me because there's no way I could come up with some of this stuff. It just comes from out of nowhere, and it's like I get lost in Rocket Man, I guess, and and I feed off of what you've written, and how we go back and forth, and it's just it's an amazing thing. We have such a great rapport, I guess, and camaraderie, and it works. I don't know. I can't explain it. It just works.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said. It does work. It just works. And when we become these characters, we become crazy. Then we go back to our boring lives. But when I become Poetry Lady, it's so different for me. I model Poetry Lady over my activism. She's an activist. The only thing she can't do is keep that man in line, because he is tough to keep in line. But it's not real life, but it's God, if I could have a life like that, I'd be there in 2 minutes.
No,
If I could be any character of anybody I ever wrote, and I know this is crazy because Mr. Rights and social justice, I would be Poetry Lady because she is a woman who is insatiable. She loves life. She helps everybody. She's just absolutely amazing. So, do you have anything else to add, Larry?
I've just said before that these two characters who are what everybody would like to be if, they didn't have all kinds of demands on them. They have the demands on that normal people have in their everyday lives, but they just are who they are, and nothing changes them. In our day-to-day life, we ourselves a little bit. The two of them.
Okay.
Together.
I agree. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to give all these wonderful ladies a chance to ask questions. Does anybody have any questions to ask Larry about Rocket Man? Going once. Yes, Sukaina from Morocco. Go ahead, Sukaina.
Just like
Sukaina, go ahead.
Larry, what inspired you to actually write, about Rocket Man, and and write passionately about it?
The toll-free number on your screen now to see if you qualify. There is no obligation to Medicare benefits are absolutely free. Did you know you can now be eligible for new Medicare Advantage plans with Medicare dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage? Just call 8.
Please, someone is opening his radio or TV, please. Could you turn it off? Thank you.
Free rides to medical appointments and
Okay, Larry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Larry.
$0 premiums.
Okay, I'm muting everybody, okay?
Okay, just
And
Larry.
please, if someone is turning on his TV, please turn it on. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Larry.
Free hearing aids, free meal delivery, free prescription drug delivery, expanded at-home.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, that's fine.
Medicare Advantage plans. Make sure you're.
What is this?
Somebody's background noise.
There is
So, can you mute everybody just to listen
I
to
said
Larry?
to mute everybody.
Sure.
Everybody should be muted.
Sure.
Oh, that's
Except for
good.
Sukaina, Larry, and Lynn.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sukaina.
That's
Lynn,
okay.
doing this together when we were on these that actually still existed, and we were just responding to each other, and we were kind of I don't know, being wise about it, throwing little jabs at one another. And one day, out of the blue, I called her Poetry Lady, and that's where it started. And she came back with Rocket Man. And I said, oh, okay, I'm just gonna go with this, and that's basically what happened.
Well, some great stuff, are created like in an instant.
Well, that's like I said, it just came from out of nowhere, basically, and we've just had so much fun with it. And I've been in and out of the loop here on this from time to time, but I just jumped back in on this one, and I think it's great. It's just it's and I love it. We just keep working.
And it works for us. It works. That's all that matters is that it works. Okay.
How long have you been doing it together?
Leah, you want to say something?
How long have you been doing it together?
Oh my God. Go ahead, big guy.
Years.
A lot of years. A lot of years.
Count them up.
I would say what? 10 years.
What a character. I had to live with him, I probably would have killed him already, but a lot of years. When I met Larry, all I did was laugh. And when he met me, he couldn't remember the title of the book. So what does that tell you? Shirley, you would love this man. He is one of the funniest people I've ever met. Okay, but those eyes, the eyes. Okay, here we go. Getting back on track. So now you met Rocket Man and Poetry Lady. And these two are just fun. I need fun in my life. My life between the activism, everybody sick around me. It makes me crazy. Okay, I'm going to introduce you to a very, very, very special lady who is, and I see she's busy working, so I love it. She is our writer of the month. This is a new thing. You know me, it's 20 hours I sleep. You know me, it's 20 hours I sleep. Of 24 hours I sleep. At 20 hours I'm wide awake and ready to roar. So I have to think of new things. So between Rocket Man and Mr. Rights, I decided to do author of the month. Her name is Kavita Singh, and we all know her because Kavita is there you are, sweetheart. Kavita is our she's a veterinarian. She writes about, and the reason that her writing is so successful is because she writes about things and people who are near and dear to her heart. We have a lot of great authors here. We're going to start off with Kavita, our author of the month. When I hate when people tell me I can't write. It's a frustrating thing for me. Leah never said I can't write. Leah always said, oh, 5 minutes, and then she gives me pages and pages of copy. The reason I love Leah is because she's my soul sister, and because she never disappointed me. Kavita Singh told me, I don't know if you'll like this. She's not a confident writer. I have to tell you that I sat up reading her copy. I could not put it down. So take it away, Kavita. Tell us a little bit about what it feels like to be author of the month.
Yay!
Go ahead, Kavita, the stage is yours. Go ahead.
Bravo!
Go for it.
Hi. You all could hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, go ahead,
Yeah?
sweetie.
Yes. Yeah, well, I was not expecting that at all. When I sent those pieces to Lynn, I found they were rough and unpolished. So he wanted advice how to fix them, but she loved them as they were. So I guess I was doing something right. Normally, I used to like to write short stories or little essays, descriptive stuff, and I don't seem to be able to do that anymore. And those pieces that I sent Lynn were all from my heart. They were from experiences that I had, and I just needed to get it out. So it was amazing to get called out of everybody author of the month this month. It means a lot to me, and it will encourage me to continue to write more.
Wonderful writer.
Yeah.
Hi, Vicky.
Hi, Barbara.
I think you're mute. A wonderful writer. Wonderful writer. She writes with emotion.
That's marvelous,
Kind of
Kavita.
writing that you can have.
Thank you.
So I
And,
expect more writing from you, Miss Author of the Month.
I
don't want you to
will.
tell me you can't write. Okay.
yes. With your talent comes power. I mean, and responsibility.
We have a lot of
Responsibility.
writers.
Yes.
Okay, the next, thank you, Kavita, and thank you for allowing me to share in Cuddle's life. I loved learning about Cuddles. I felt
Yeah,
Cuddles near me. There was an
She's doing
emotional
very
joy.
well.
Cuddles is now appearing in 2 books.
Yeah.
He's in Mr. Rights, and he's
Wow.
going to be in and he was in Sisterhood 35. Women and Their Passion.
Okay, good.
I wrote about my causes and my writing. Other people wrote about different things. So and that's why I need Rocket Man, because in between all the writing that I do, I need to laugh. So that always gives me
Right.
a jolt is an easy way of putting it. Okay, so let's go. I have another author here that we want to. Kavita, thank you for giving us your time. I know Kavita is a veterinarian and she's very busy. And I want to thank you for your writing, Kavita. You're fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm looking forward to the book, Kavita.
Can you hear me?
Me too.
Yes, Shirley, go ahead.
I'm
We hear
going to
you.
ask Kavita a question.
Yes,
Can I-
go ahead.
You hear me, Kavita?
Yes, yes.
This is
Go
not
ahead.
to do with writing. When she said you were a vet, I rescued a stray cat back in September, and she was pregnant, and we have 7-week-old kittens.
He was pregnant.
How much
Oh,
longer?
congratulations.
Oh, we're in love. We've got 5 new cats plus 2 that already have lived here. How long before the mother can be separated from the kittens?
I like around 7 weeks, but
7
they
weeks?
can stop nursing. They could stop nursing before that, but I like to keep them close for them to bond.
They're really bonded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
If it's
really.
to, are you keeping them or it's to find new homes?
We don't know. We're just so in love with
Yeah.
them. But if we kept them all, we would have 7 cats.
Are you going to spay her?
That's luck.
If you're going to spay her, I normally
Oh, definitely.
spay. Yeah, I normally spay about 2 months to 10 weeks after having the
Right.
babies.
Right.
So you would want to take them away because the more they nurse, the more milk letdown you'll have, and you'll want the mammary glands to go back up before they spay.
Okay. I'm not in any hurry to do anything with them. I'm so in love with all of them right now. We may end up keeping them all, and that'll give us 7
Okay.
cats.
Shirley, you can always personally consult Kavita.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
Kavita.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. I'm glad, Shirley, that you're alive. It makes my day.
Oh,
Okay, so here we go.
I think I would
Okay, so
die
then-
in this damned election.
Yeah, okay, we're not talking about elections,
No,
Shirley.
I
There's no politics.
Can't
Now,
talk about it.
I'm going to introduce one of my, because really and truthfully, in the scheme of things, I know Miss Vicky won't agree with me, but in the scheme of things, the election's gonna be here and gone. And when it's over, it's over. We're not gonna kill ourselves. We'll just adjust to whatever it is. And no, Larry, I won't gloat, but I'm smiling already. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say to you. That's all I have to say. Okay, next I'm going to introduce another great author who, the way I love this author is because she can write any kind of writing. She can do serious writing. And the only thing that tops her writing is her love of life, her sweetness. She is by far the nicest person that I know. And she really actually gets herself into any kind of writing, and she is an amazing storyteller. So I am going to introduce my soul sister, Miss Armstead, and I'd like you to talk a little bit about writing. You're always ready to talk, Leah. Don't give me that look like I can't talk. You always talk. Go ahead, hit it.
Writing is, I think it's kind of a way, really, a kind of way to stay alive. I mean, I don't mean by money, because it sure doesn't do that. But I think when I was young, and I didn't have the happiest old time then, I started writing, and that was a way in which I just sort of, I expressed myself, and I just expressed everything that I could, and I hid everything too. And some people in the family, they were such wretched little things. They would come and they would steal it, and they go running around the house with them, saying, "I got your," and I would go, "Give it back, give it back! Oh, it was my private writing, you know, how dare they?" Anyway, I don't know how I got off on that, but I think the thing is that it can be a private thing that you do for yourself, and a way in which you express what you need to express, what you want to express about your life, about your feelings, about how you really feel. Because writing in the brain is different than thinking. You probably know this, but the area of the brain in which writing comes from is different than the area of the brain where we talk. So actually, just by talking, we do express a certain thing, obviously, and that's a good way to communicate obviously. But when we write, we're actually using a different part of the brain to communicate. And so we're actually communicating in a slightly different way. And that's why it can be a way to clarify your thoughts, to clarify your feelings, to express things that you find difficult to express any other way. And so talking is different than writing. They are really two different, very different things. So that's why I do always encourage people like to keep a journal if they want to. I mean, it's up to them. But like if they have a lot of difficult things going on, I might say, well, try a journal. Because it's not just enough to say, oh, I feel so wretchedly horrible. That's one thing. But if you start writing it and you can start getting some words to start flowing down, you actually might learn something. What's actually going on? What's making me feel so horrible? What's going here?
Exactly.
And you learn something that you didn't know before. Whereas when you're talking, sometimes you get caught up in it, and the person you're talking to has something else more interesting to say, maybe you think. And so, you stop talking about yourself and you start talking about that. So, I mean, that's why talking is a different thing, but writing is your own place to really put down just what you want to. And then if you want to, you can rip it up. Nobody ever needs to see it.
Exactly.
You can say exactly what you wanted to say and then get rid of it. And that's another really cool thing about writing, that you have control over it. Well, hopefully, except when you have brothers and sisters and people living in your house who come stealing your private writings. I don't have any resentments. Okay, none. But
Wonderful writer and a wonderful storyteller.
But is do you know what I'm saying? There is so much, and then you can go into a land of fantasy. You can go into a land like writing poetry. Sometimes, like the mind just comes up with rhymes, and it's like just beautiful songs. Come to. Do you do that? Do other people do that?
All the time. You're asking me. I don't sleep. What else do I do? I fantasize and
I know you do. I know you do.
I write.
know
That's
you
all
do.
I do is I write. I
But,
live to write. I write to live. That's my mantra.
I think that's why we get on, I mean, but yeah, I mean, the mind is something so complex and life is so complex that sometimes it's really nice to narrow it down to say, I'm going to concentrate. Like you start like a line comes to your head and you write it down.
Exactly.
And then you kind of move from there and you sort of find yourself moving along and you're actually expressing something that needs to be expressed from yourself. And it really does it not surprise. It's a big surprise. It's like somebody else wrote
it's like
it.
opening. It's like opening a present. It's like unwrapping
it's like
a
opening
gift.
a present. It is.
Exactly. Okay, thank you, Leah. We're now moving to another author who's going to kill me because I didn't tell her she was going to talk, and I don't care. Another woman who told me that she can't write. I don't write, Lynn. I don't write. I didn't listen to Larry when he told me that, and I just won't listen to anybody who tells me that once they get their words across. And this lady is very special to me. I actually met her in person every time I went to Connecticut. She wrote something for one of our sisterhood books, and she wrote about me. That's not the reason I love her. I love her because she and Al knew Ira, which I'm still struggling with. And they are just both of them are two of the most wonderful, wonderful people. My friend Barbara doesn't have confidence in her writing, but her writing is absolutely amazing. Really. I have to say, Barbara and I went through more than I went through with most of you, except for Larry and Vicky. Barbara and I, we both had relationships in our past that we were connected from the minute that we met. That doesn't happen often to me. Barbara, I'd like you to talk a little bit about your writing.
Oh,
I love you.
well, thank you, Lynn. Thanks. It's nice to see everyone.
Wonderful.
I have to tell you, I'm a little anxious today.
Okay, so if you're not comfortable talking, you don't have to.
No, I'll talk for a minute.
Okay, great.
Yes, I basically never consider myself a writer, but
You are?
with Lynn's encouragement, I've been coming a little bit out of my shell, just like a turtle, a little bit at a time. And hopefully, maybe I'll do more. This last year has been tough. Of course, everybody's had the problem with the pandemic and everything, but hopefully after today, maybe things will change. I'm really hoping. Anyway, and I love Lynn. I love Tofi. I love all
I
of you.
love
folks.
you.
Aw, and
Thank you,
I
sister.
appreciate her always nudging me. She's a nudger.
People who know me know I never give up.
Because I had said I wasn't going to do Zoom meetings for a while, but here I am. So,
I'm glad you're here, Barbara.
and another one, Leah, I love you, honey. I love you. You're just,
I love
you're
you
just
too.
you're a breath of spring air. And
That she is.
and of course, Vicky and Suki and Shirley, all of you. I really appreciate seeing you guys. And I'll stop now. Thanks, Lynn. I
Okay,
love you.
we love
sweetie.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
Say
you.
hello to all. We love you.
I am so excited because I'm looking at my screen and I don't see her face, and that's okay. But Allison, I am so excited that you're here. Allison is a DC friend. The best things in my life happened to me because of DC. Daily connections. We have Crazy Shirley. We have Crazy Larry. The Daily Connections family was a very, very special family. Allison Braun and her husband, Brian, who I absolutely adore. They are just wonderful people. So Allison, welcome to our family. We're thrilled to have you, even if I can't see you.
Go ahead.
That's nice.
Yeah, Allison is wonderful. She actually comments on my work, so how big could she be? Okay, the next author we have is Najette.
Okay, I was screen there.
Oh, there's Allison. Wait.
Hi,
Najette.
Allison.
Hi, Allison. How is Brian?
He's fine. He's out, especially today, but always he goes out in the yard and works until he's tired. And that's especially a solution for today for him. But he's still waiting his results from the test.
Keep us posted. He's very special.
Pardon me?
Keep us posted on how he is in DC. Let us know how he is.
Yeah, my problem is I'm severely hearing impaired. So Zooms can be hard,
Okay.
especially I don't hear women's voices. I hear men's voices better.
How is that?
I'm sorry.
Maybe that's what you want to hear.
Right.
How is that, Alison? How is that?
Okay, Toby, that's enough.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to Najette, who is a new author, published her new book, and her dedication was to Lynn and Tofik. So go ahead, Najette, take it away. How does writing make you feel?
Welcome, Najat.
Hello, everyone. Peace be upon everyone. I didn't want to interrupt at the beginning, so thank you. Thank you, Lynn, for the invitation.
My pleasure. Algeria. Go ahead, Najette.
Let me first express my gratitude being a member of this wonderful group. I'm really grateful to everyone because I feel that I belong to a member. I am a member of a family of like-minded and like-hearted people. I'm really grateful for this.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, talk to us about writing.
Yeah, thank you. Let's speak about my book. How shall I start? I really can't remember how I first started writing, but thank God I was able to make it. And thank you, Lynn, for your continuous encouragement. And Mr. Tofik too. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Our pleasure.
So tell us more.
Go ahead, Najat.
Yeah, okay. Shall I read some poems from my book?
Why not? Read one poem because we have other people to introduce.
Sure.
What's your favorite poem?
Okay,
Here,
sure.
here is it.
Great.
Sales Ecstasy is my title. Let me read the introduction, okay, if you like.
Okay, great.
Well, sure. Appreciate.
Life brings many lessons. Everything is there to give a message. In this rapid world, ourselves might get forgotten and thus not heard. I wrote this book because I believe it is time we get to ourselves. It is a call to get deeper, to give ourselves the chance to have the message unfold. It is time we sit and listen. In this book, I combine a collection of poems that invite you inside. These poems came out when I set to myself a space for silence and contemplating. They embrace themes of love, peace, patience, and much more. Let us seek wisdom in everything we go through. I wish you find this book a light companion whenever needed. So it is, in brief, my book is just a call to ourselves to get deeper because we live in a very rapid world. We may forget ourselves. Here is the dedication.
It's a beautiful book. I just know.
Okay.
Okay, one poem, not yet.
Yeah, the first one, which is the first poem I ever wrote in my life, to my beloved. All praises to you, my Lord, for everything to me you brought. By your graces in shelter I was put, and by patience I was taught. Patience with what you prevented is sweet as if you granted. Preventing and giving are equal, for in the love dictionary everything is possible. You are the all-aware, the all-knowing, so no more complaining, I promise. Complaining by this mind, a mind created by your hand, it never comes, I assure. So what arguing for? I am saying satisfied, how not, and you are my guide. I'm not an angel, I'm a human that's thankful. Yes, I am your lover, for above all, you are the initiator. That's the end.
Thank you very much. We're going to move on to another author, even though this is another one who's like Larry. She has to be in the mood. She doesn't have enough time. Nobody works harder than I do here. And between the writing and the activism and the this and that, she doesn't have time. So she gave me a sort of a concession and she said, Lynn, I'll either be at your meeting. I have to beg her to come to a meeting. I'll either be at your meeting or I'll write. So I really wanted her here for many reasons. My friend Shirley, who has become a very dear friend, just like, don't start with you didn't know I was going to call you. Everybody who knows me knows I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to do. She is like Leah. She's a writer who writes about her personal experiences with emotion. She is a phenomenal writer, even though she has to grace us with her presence in a book. She is a dynamic person, but what I love the most about Shirley is that when she writes, you could hear her activism come through the pages. So talk a little bit about writing, Shirley.
I remember writing, first of all, around 5th grade, I started a diary. And that was some of you know that I grew up in an incredibly dysfunctional, violent home. And that was my release. I didn't realize it at the time, but I wrote in that diary from 5th grade until I graduated from college. And then I left it at home and my mom threw it away.
Oh God.
And that was probably the most revealing for me at that time. Lynn, you've opened up my heart space again by making me write. I haven't had, we all have different kinds of traumas and different kinds of experiences. My life, I just stopped writing, and I haven't written since I wrote that one story for you, but I know that it's very important that I do this. It's not that I don't want to. It's I'm scared too.
No, you're going to do it, and I'm going to encourage you. And not only am I going to encourage you, but I'm going to be on your back. And you know how I am when I don't give up. I never give up on anybody.
She
That's my
doesn't.
problem, is that I can't.
But I
That is my
I
biggest
read
problem.
every day,
Shirley is a
I
phenomenal
read every
writer,
night,
just like Leah.
but I don't write. And Lynn's the one that said I'm a pretty good writer. So,
She's an
and I
excellent
majored.
writer.
By the way, I
feel like
majored
that
in
all of a sudden
English.
when it's so important. I don't understand, but it's
Yeah.
wonderful.
But I'll tell you, a really significant time for me, and it wasn't for a story for Lynn, was on January 2nd of 1987. That's the first day I got sober after about a 4-year nightmare of drinking and drugs. And I started writing in rehab. And at the center of all this was my father. And I felt him in the room. And I just kept writing and writing. And I finally was able to forgive my father. It's taken a long time and he's been long gone. But what a relief through writing just on my own and through talking also in therapy. But I think I really wrote it, a lot of it in the first thing I wrote for you, Lynn, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And it was amazing, just like Leah wrote. Leah's writing is similar to yours, and her story is similar to yours.
yeah.
And I think that what made me love the two of you as much as I do is that I could connect to some extent.
Well, and you grow up, if you lived in something so crazy and dysfunctional, you either just keep it all inside and say,
Release.
I'm fine, everything's fine. Can I say a nasty word?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
When I got in,
I live for that.
well, when I got into rehab, and by the way, I'll be 34 years sober in January.
Woohoo!
When I got into rehab, one of the first things that hit me was fine means fucked up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
Oh my gosh.
But it's true.
Isn't that great? I'm fine. I'll keep writing for you, Lynn, but I have to be able to do it in my time.
Hopefully we'll celebrate tonight together. I have the Pinot ready. I have wine I'm drinking tonight. And
Well,
you and I will celebrate, Miss
I had to
Shirley.
bring something to make you laugh. 4 years ago, we were so sure that Hillary was going to win.
I knew this was coming.
Oh my
And
God.
a very dear friend of mine who lives up in San Luis Obispo sent me for my birthday, which is next week. She sent me this. Can you see it?
Okay.
And it says, now I
You can't
live,
control it.
I only
You
live
cannot
like
control it.
150
Go ahead.
miles from the Mexican border. Free, fire Trump, proudly made by Mexicans. And it was filled with
That's my
candy.
Shirley.
We were supposed to smash it.
Okay, I know,
I'm
Shirley. I think you get the idea.
I'm
We're
hoping
not-
tonight I
okay.
can smash this.
I'm gonna drink and be happy. Okay.
Me too.
One last author who has to talk, and then we're gonna cut because we're really using a lot of time. And I know it's hard for you. I know it's hard for you to get it out, but Suki, give us 5 words or a little bit less about about how you feel being an author. My daughter writes beautifully. Go ahead.
I didn't know that I would be talking.
You always talk.
So basically, yeah, but like I thought that this is the time lesson. So what made me write is like when you find that other people don't listen to, especially your close people don't listen to what you're feeling at that moment, and you see things that you don't like in society, and like for me there's no better way to express those feelings instead of but with and publish those words for other people around the world to actually read them and understand them and act, thanks to them. So I think that an author should be passionate about the things they write and should know that maybe they are not going to change a lot of things in this world. It's like their words are a drop. See, time is that drop.
Okay, great. That was a good way of putting it. Okay, 2 or 3 things from me, and then that's it. The
Thank you,
first thing is,
Susie.
first thing is deadline on Mr. Rights. Leah, you're doing me a real big favor, and I love you for coming in on the gay rights. Thank you. Mr. Rights, I'll take up till Friday. Different is beautiful. We have till next week. Let's not worry about it. Now, if I could recommend something to you, get on Amazon and buy The Last Rocket Man and Poetry Lady. Friends, I won't ask him for the title because he probably won't remember. Go ahead, Larry, hit it. What's the title, Larry? Friends to the End. I advise you to buy this book, and I'll tell you why, because it is the funniest. When your life is really sad, you need Rocket Man and Poetry Lady to get through. It's certainly getting me through. I was, yes. Before I close off, I would like to thank Mr. Tofik Essadiki, the husband, for helping us by navigating. I couldn't do it without him. So thank you, Tofik. And no, he's my tech man. He helps me get through my day, but I'm not ready to kill him.
Thank you.
He helps me get through everything.
Before you kill him, send him out here. He can be my
I
tech
know,
man.
Shirley, but how can it come out if you're dead, Shirley? How is it going to come out? We have to have you alive, okay? And Shirley, you have to. The date is still coming to us. Let's just remember how it is. Still coming to us first. Then
I know. I got you.
Okay, everybody. I want to thank you all for spending some time with Rocket Man, Poetry Lady, and all of the authors.
One last word. And if everyone wants to add the last word, you're invited to say 1 or 2 words, all of you, and then we'll close this meeting. Thank you so much.
Okay, last word. Love will keep it together. Anybody else?
I just want to say thank you to Larry for coming. I've never met you before, and it's so super to meet you and to hear how you guys got on, how you get this together and everything. It's like, wow, that's incredible. Not a lot of people could do
Buy
that.
the book, Leah. You will love this book. It's a crazy book. Buy the book.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. But I loved hearing how you guys have this, thing going on.
Yeah, thing going on. That's a good way of putting it. Okay.
Alison, please go ahead.
Allison.
I hear dog.
Oh, that's me.
The vet.
That's me. I got a new puppy.
Okay, thanks everyone for coming. Love you all, and we'll see you when we see you. We'll just
Back in the South, they would say, "God willing, and the creek don't rise."
Woo!
Hey,
Okay, everyone.
I live in Wales, but I come from Florida.
We'll see you all. Leah, I'll see you on Thursday for the kids. Thursday is a kids' day, okay?
Yeah, of course. Yes.
Of course, Leah, of course. Not like you, Shirley, who tells me, I don't know if I'm going to be up.
Of course.
I'm very busy, Lynn. I've been trying to salvage what's left of my business.
Shirley, I'm busier. Okay.
No, you don't know. You'd have to come and live here and see.
Well, come and live with my life. It's
Yeah.
Come live
I'll
my
see you
life.
later on line, Shirley. We were rooted in together with a drink and a prayer.
Yeah, no drink.
Okay, and I will gloat tomorrow, Mr. Larry.
Congratulations, Shirley, on your wonderful sobriety.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's everything to me. Everything.
I know. I think that's super.
Because I have an incredible marriage.
She's married to her soulmate.
I have my soulmate. He threw me out and I got sober. And 6 months later, I was connected.
Maybe sometime you can tell the story of that. I would love to hear more.
It's amazing. Yeah, just
Okay, great. That means you have to come to a few more meetings, Shirley, you know.
By
not
the way, I just read, came up on my sidebar that Trump has said he doesn't have any plans on leaving the White House.
Okay, Shirley, no politics.
He's a king, hey.
No politics.
Well,
Okay.
I'm
Ladies,
breaking
you
the
can talk,
rules.
ladies, you can talk to each other privately.
We're going
Okay?
crazy.
I have to go. I have a lot of stuff to do. I love you all. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you soon. Okay, bye.
Bye. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Tyler,
Thank
what if
you.